Thank you, everyone. My name is Tavon Hawkins, and to my fellow Americans, I am here to deliver a message. I am not here as a Democrat, nor as a Republican. I am just here to make you rethink about our love for firearms. Persuading you to be against firearms is not my job today. My job today is to give you information to help us as a country meet this issue somewhere in the middle. If we can accomplish this difficult task, we will have the potential to make our country, our communities, and our lives safer. So, what I wanted to touch on first is one of the most recent issues that happened in our country that actually sparked this debate in gun control. And it is, of course, the Sandy Hook shooting. And my question to everyone is, should this be our reality? For 27 people to be killed, 18 of them children, at the hands of crazed gunmen. Our shooter, gunman, Adam Lanza, 20 years old, ran up into a school with a Bushmaster, 9mm, a Glock, and a SIG, and I guess he just lost control. One of the things that sparks the debate on the conservative side is mental health. Why did this person do this in the first place? These are some of the issues that we have in this country that needs to be addressed. And it is definitely an issue that we need to fix or change or reform. So something has to give when something like this happens. This is not the first time that it's happened in our country, but maybe we can lessen it or even eliminate it altogether. This was the second mass shooting in our country. Prior to that, an individual walked into a movie theater in Oregon, wound up killing 2 people. I have here that NBC News reports that there has been 31 shootings in the U.S. since Columbine in 1999, when 13 people were killed. The rate of people killed by guns in the U.S. is 19.5 times higher than similar high-income countries in the world. In the last 30 years, since 1982, America has mourned at least 61 mass shootings. Let's not forget about the 500 murders in Chicago and the persistent gun violence that is crippling our inner cities, or has been crippling our inner cities for decades. So where do we start? How do we fix this? It's an issue that we need to somehow figure out, but we got to start somewhere. And I think step one is that we need to start with our administration, our government. The Obama administration, they want to require criminal background checks for gun sales, including those by private sellers that currently are not exempt, or currently are exempt from background checks. They want to reinstate the ban on assault weapons that was in place in 1994 to 2004. They want to limit ammunition rounds to magazines, and they want to provide financing. They want to provide some financing for expanding mental health programs for young people. So these are, like I said, we got to start somewhere. Whether you agree or disagree with it, we got to do something. We can't just sit back and do nothing about these issues. Step 2, I think we need to unite as a country. We need to have one mind. We need to be thinking together. And the thing about America is that we are the most powerful country in the world, but for some reasons we have a lot of problems with living up to that or leading by example. So I do understand that the right to bear arms is the right to bear arms and to protect one's family and property is a value as Americans that we hold dearly. But when Americans begin to hold these values at the expense of others, then we need to take a step back and reevaluate some of these things. Again, it's just a reevaluation. It's not taking anything away, but we just need to figure out where our values stand. Step 2, I think we need to end a lot of this partisan bickering back and forth. We can't get nothing done in Washington because Republicans got agendas, Democrats got agendas. We need to figure out how we can squash those differences and I guess create a government for the people, like it's supposed to be about the people. So what side do you stand on? Conservative view is that most conservatives stand by the Second Amendment of the Constitution, which is freedom and right to bear arms. Some conservatives feel that stricter gun control laws leave citizens powerless and unable to protect themselves against internal and outside threats. Conservatives feel that mental health in the country is a bigger issue. Plus, lawbreakers will always find a way to break the law, no matter how many laws or no matter how many restrictions you put on guns. Criminals do not care. They will find a gun wherever they can, and they will commit crime, no matter how many rules are out there. What else we have here? Some conservatives feel that there should be no regulations at all, that we should be able to buy however many guns we want to. I mean, again, it's your personal choice, but when we're trying to come together as a country, we can't be one-sided. Somebody has to give a little, others have to, take a little. But again, we need to find a way to reach some sort of level ground or middle ground. Liberals feel as though stricter gun laws result in less crime and less gun-related deaths. People do not need semi-automatic weapons for hunting or collection. Our police and law enforcement, they should never be outgunned out in the streets. The age at the time when the Second Amendment was created, it was a time back in the day where there was less technology. I guess if you want to use muskets as an example versus M16s or AK-47s, they were way less powerful, could kill less people, And again, liberals want to restrict magazine capacities. They figure that if you have less bullets, then you can kill less people at one time. Who knows? These are the differences that we have here. And like I said, we just got to figure out a way to come together on these issues. So where has gun control worked? Well, John Howard, he's a conservative prime minister of Australia. He feels as though that gun control issues should not be left or right, that it should be an issue of public safety. And that's how he initiated his gun control laws after a mass shooting in Australia in 1996. When a man walks into Port Arthur in Tasmania and kills 35 people, he made swift action after 12 days. Maybe he wasn't the most popular guy for making such changes, but he realized that something had to be done. In the last 16 years, the risk of dying by gunshots in Australia has fallen by more than 50%. The national rate of gun homicides is 1/3 of that of the U.S., and there hasn't been a single mass shooting in Port Arthur since. So something worked here. He took action. The issue with the United States is that we do a lot of talking, but we're not taking any action. And in conclusion, the spotlight is on us as Americans. No matter what side of the issue you fall on, we need to come together and figure out what to do about the issues of gun control in our country. The deaths of these innocent victims should not go in vain. As a nation, we should not stand by and do nothing. We are better than this. And lastly, if that was your son or daughter in Sandy Hook, what side would you stand with? If you need to find any information about this topic or any other resources, or if you wanted to look up some of my resources, you can look at the Guardian on mass shootings worldwide. The NRA.org has a lot of information. New York Times, NBC News, and the Global Square for CNN. This concludes my speech on gun control from left to right, and you guys have a wonderful day.